Hey guys, and welcome back to Brexit Britain, a country where the government thinks the residents are so stupid they can dish out £37 billion amongst their friends and family and get away with it. Oops, that's what I was actually supposed to be speaking about. And also, welcome back to By Any Means Necessary. Thank you so much for all your messages you sent me, and a special thanks here to everyone who signed up to my channel. I feel so blessed with so much people that have signed up to my channel. So thank you so much for that. I'll go through all your messages. I'll answer as many as I can, but I will like all your messages for definite. So today we've got a threat from Insulate Britain, who said we're going to have a day of rage on the M25. They haven't started anything yet, so we're waiting to see if anything like that's going to happen. So, and then we've got the Queen. Overnight, the Queen just said, you know what? Her Majesty has just said, you know what? Right? I ain't feeling COP26. Right? If you think that the Queen wants to go there to be embarrassed, right, by that idiot that you people voted as the leader of this country, right? The Queen's just like, right? For what, this fool to go and quote Kermit the fucking Frog up in there? I don't think so. So the Queen's just like, you know what? I'm not going. Right? She's not going. Right? Don't you think this whole thing is just an embarrassment? Right? Even the Queen, right, is embarrassed. She's gonna send a video message, and you know, I saw the Queen like on some type of podcast or something yesterday, yeah, and the Queen she looked in perfectly good health. She looked absolutely fine. Her Majesty looked absolutely fine, right? So we all know now that the Queen's just like, you know what, nah, I'm not feeling that at all. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work for the Queen. Right, the Queen's not feeling the COP26. Right, same with how much world leaders now. Right, and you know something, yeah. If Biden pulls out, I'm telling you, because right now, yeah, you know Biden's trying to think. He's probably trying to think of something to come up with, yeah, why he could just say, you know what, no, I'm not going anymore. Right, and then that right will make the whole thing I mean, it's already embarrassing. It's already embarrassing because this is what you Brexiters have done to this country. You've turned this country into a massive embarrassment, right? That's what you've done. You know what I mean? And obviously, you know why you've done that. Oh God, I can't tell you again. It's your level of racism because your mind, yeah, is your mind is messed up, right? Yeah, seriously, right? You people, you've got serious issues because you see what's going on in this country, right? And you still think that the Tories. I don't know what you think about. I don't know what you think about the Tories, but I do know that you're voting for them all for the wrong reasons, right? Immigration, yeah, is not a reason, right, to smash the country to pieces. It's not a reason to do that, right? So as I said, the Queen is not going because you know what, right? So many world leaders have just looked and said, you know what, Britain is not, it's not important, right? It's a nothing country now throughout the world, right? What do we need to go there for, right? Remember Britain was a major stepping stone, yeah, into the EU, and you've taken that away, right? You've taken that away. Right, you know what that's like here. That's like the Americans saying, you know what? Okay, well, I'll tell you what. We're not going to sell. We'll no longer care if you don't sell oil in dollars. That's how stupid that would be. Could you imagine the Americans saying something like that? Yeah, you can sell oil in any currency. Right? They've killed world leaders for that. Right? Because they know how important that is to their economy. Just like our stepping stone into the EU was as important as that to our economy. Right? But I don't, I just think that you people, you Brexiters, you're too stupid to realise that. You're just too stupid to realise that. Right? Brexit is the stupidest thing. Right? Don't get me wrong. I'm having a lot of laughs about it. Right? Because as a black man, right, who's never felt welcome, you know. So that's what you've got to understand, right? That's what you've got to. That's why I can have a right, even though it's affected me, I can have a right laugh about it because you know what, you've done this, right? Because of people like me, right? Asian people, Europeans, right? And look what you've done. Do you know what I mean? You've done damage here that this country can never come back from. This country can never ever. I don't think you guys. I don't think that can get through your thick skulls. Right? This country can never come back from the damage that you have done. Okay. So look, today we've got the budget, right? And obviously we're going to have a lot about the levelling up agenda. Well, you know, obviously Rishi Sunak, you know, is the man who would know all about levelling up, yeah, with his £99 flip flops. The man's got flip flops for £99. Right? Well, 48.50 a flop. Right? And the fucking fool was wearing socks with them. Right? Just let me say something to you right now, yeah? On a very serious, very, very serious note. I want to be really serious with you guys for a minute, right? Don't wear socks with flip flops. Don't do that. Okay, look, I'm telling you, or slides. Don't do that. Right? It doesn't look good. Right? It's very, very unfashionable. I don't know if you've seen Boys in the Hood, yeah? Ice Cube, one of the coolest men in the world. And in one of the last scenes, yeah, you know, the man's there, right, wearing slides with socks. I was just like, come on, Ice, man. That's not right. You don't listen. I'll just tell you guys on a serious level. Don't do that. Don't ever do that, right? Because you know something, yeah. It just gives me the giggles, right? And I'm laughing at you. I'm not laughing with you. I'm laughing. If you wear sandals and socks, flip flops and socks, slides and socks, I'm laughing at you. Okay, right? And you know the amount of people, yeah, when I've been on road, yeah, the amount of people I've said it to, I'm just like, listen, you know you shouldn't be wearing socks with those, right? And then I just walk off laughing. Some people just look at me and just laugh, and others they're like, hey, cheeky. But seriously, just don't do it. But so yeah, so we've got the budget today. So Rishi Sunak, a man with his £99 flip flops with socks, right? You know, I suppose he's going to go off on the levelling up agenda. And you know the high wage economy and the high skilled economy, right? So obviously he's going to give you a nice little bonus to all the public sector workers, right? And you know we know he's given like a massive 6%, right, to the for the minimum wage, or what they like to call it, the living wage, right? And they're not living about that, right? But he's put another 59 pence on that, right? And you know, obviously, our question was, what are you going to do? Because I mean, how much does a Snickers cost? Can you get Snickers on 60p? I don't know, because nowadays you probably have to go for listen. There's obviously other chocolate bars are available. You know, you got your things like your Boost, your Picnic, right? Your Mars bar. You know, your Dairy Milk, right? But all those bars are all around the same type of money. But can you buy one of those, yeah, you know, with your new raise? You see, and you know, they're talking about the high wage economy. Well, I suppose, right? Get a 6% raise, right? Makes it much more of a high wage economy for you. I suppose. Right, the whole thing here is just about lies, and more lies. Right, whatever they're saying in the budget today, right, they have already taken all of the money already off of you already. Right, because it's coming back in fuel costs, in gas costs, right, you know, in food, right, everything. Remember, everything's going up. Everything's going up. Right, so it's all come back anyway. Right, so whatever the budget is today, it don't really matter. Because they've already set you up to say, you know what? Because you know they've been leaking the stories about, you know, what's going to happen in the budget. They've been leaking the stories for the last 2 days or whatever, you know, so they can keep all the whatever nonsense out the news, what they want to keep out the news, right? So they've been leaking the budget, and Lindsay Hoyle is kind of pissed off, but who cares? Do you know what I mean? As a speaker, who cares? Do you know what I mean? They're just like, you know, these Tories just like, well, you know what, we prefer to just leak it to the newspapers, and then we can take control of what's on the front pages. It's easier that way for them, right? So look, £37 billion. You know, I've been talking about that from ever since. Do you know what I mean? How they've dished that money out amongst their friends and their family, right? Because that's what they've done. Right? Remember, Dido Harding was on what was she on? What, £7 a day, right? But remember these guys here? They had like 1,000 consultants at one stage. 1,000 consultants. Sorry, we're talking about 1,000. 2,000 consultants, all being paid £1,000 over a day. Right? So that is how they just managed to just hand out the money to their friends. And you think to yourself, hold on a minute, these guys here was running a test and trace app, right? And you know, it's the first time that we've done anything like that. You know who normally does test and trace, right? The NHS. But if you notice, they just took that away from the NHS because they knew that that was a chance for them to say, you know what, we can just dish this money out amongst these people here, right? So all their people that like you know, probably their friends' kids that you know the parents are donors of to the Tory party and all these type of things. All these type of people there, they was getting their PP contracts, right? They was getting, you know, £1,000 a day for consultancy in what? For consultancy that of a new disease, a new app, right? They had no knowledge of what they had no knowledge of what they was doing, right? No knowledge of what they was doing at all. But they just used that as a way, yeah, of just dishing out billions of pounds to their friends and their family to set them up for the rest of their lives, right? That's how these people roll. Because remember, you know, these guys, you know, £1,000 a day, right? This is, you know, right? And these guys was getting that. I don't know how long these guys was getting that money for, because it's probably only just now they've probably stopped paying them, and probably some of them are still being paid, even though the whole thing has just gone belly up, right? You know, it's a complete waste of money, an eye-watering waste of taxpayers' money. Right? But they were just like, but you know something? Enough people in this country, yeah, are going to defend them. You're going to defend them. Right? You're going to have people, right, on benefits, right, who are defending them. People who have had their £20 taken away. Right? People who are fighting up in petrol stations, right, will be defending them. We're saying, you know what, yeah, well, you know, because you know why? Because these guys will be like, whoa, immigration. Because your minds, yeah, are twisted and convoluted, right? You know what I mean? You have a stain of racism printed in your mind, right? And that is what these people take advantage of, and they'll continue to take advantage of, so long as, right? So long as you people keep voting for them, they know they can get away with this stuff, because they know for you, right? This, right, is more important, right, than common decency, right, than integrity. It's more important to you, isn't it? Right? Which is just a ridiculous. Don't you think it's just a ridiculous place to be in? Right? You know, you people, you have destroyed this country, and you know what gets me is just the lack of caring. Right, you know, and they know, these people, they absolutely know, right, that is more important to you, right, than the welfare of this country. Right? You realise, right, that our social care system is on the verge of collapse. It's going to collapse. Right, you know, because it's going to be virtually impossible, right, for them to be able to staff it. It's virtually going to be impossible, because you know the people who didn't want to be there, who didn't want to work in there, yeah, they're not working there no more. Right, they've gone into other parts of hospitality because they can do. Right, so that's what they've done. They've gone, you know, so it's going to collapse. Right, and you people, you just have absolutely no clue. You just don't care, right? And that for me, yeah, I find that amazing. That you're just like, you know, the racism, right, is more important to you. Seriously, you guys need to like, yeah, with your 59p raise, 59p raise, right? After they've just, even though, right, they've just introduced a new ULEZ, right? So whatever raise they was going to give anybody in London, right? That's on, I'd say, because when they, people who are on, if you're below like probably £25 an hour, yeah, right? No, actually no. Say if you're below £20 an hour, right? Any time they give you a raise, yeah, right? It's always gonna be probably a pound and less, right? So because remember, everybody now, right? Anybody who was being paid just over the minimum wage now has to be paid, has to get a pay rise as well, right? So they're going to be looking at 50p and 60p's and 70p's, right, as well, right? To put them just above the people who are on the minimum wage, right? So any raise like that, if you work in London or you have to drive in London or whatever, right, it's been wiped out by the ULEZ. Right, so it doesn't it doesn't really matter, and you could imagine, right, that if the Tories, if the politicians themselves, right, if they was if well, obviously the ULEZ would be just factored in whatever money they get. Remember when these people when we went into lockdown, and these people just issued themselves £10,000 each, right, so they could work from home, right? Who the fuck does that? Just issue themselves right in our face. Okay. But anyway, Brexit. The supermarkets are putting cardboard cutouts on the shelves. Do we need to say any more about that? I don't think we need to say any more about that. I think we can just leave that right there, because I think you Brexiters know exactly what that's about, right? The supermarkets are using cardboard cutouts on our shelf. How do you Brexiters feel? Right. Cardboard cutouts of broccoli. I've seen cardboard cutouts of carrots. It seems to be all vegetables mainly of the cardboard cutouts I've seen. But I have seen, things like Pringles, right, where the something like the mushrooms are supposed to be. The mushrooms, they're not mushrooms, they're Pringles though. And not even a mushroom flavour Pringle. That sounds quite disgusting actually. But anyway guys, this is By Any Means Necessary. I'm the MC John Ribs. It was really nice to speak to you guys. Comments below.